a secretive deal. A historic compromise. February the 11th, 1929, marked a key moment in the modern history of the Church. On that day, with the signing of the Lateran Treaty, an agreement between the Holy See and Italy, the Vatican City State was officially established.
Muy al principio de los primeros siglos hubo un territorio, casi una franja.
From very early on in the first centuries, there existed a territory, almost a strip across the middle of Italy, from one side to the other, from one part of the Mediterranean to the other, which were called the Papal States. This lasted until, with the unification of Italy, the Papal States were lost, and Rome was lost in 1870. And then in 1929, an agreement was reached to restore to the Pope a small measure of temporal sovereignty by creating a small state.
Al Papa un poquitín de soberanía temporal, inventarse un pequeño estado.
The smallest sovereign state in the world is situated in the heart of Rome, surrounded by a 9-meter-high boundary wall, with a territory of just 44 hectares, or 109 acres.
Today, that territory serves to guarantee the Pope's independence. The Pope can look out from the window of his study in the Apostolic Palace and speak freely, without being subject to the laws of any other state. It is a guarantee of freedom and independence.
Una buona domenica!
Vatican City is deeply intertwined with another entity, the Holy See. This spiritual and diplomatic authority governs the Church worldwide, while Vatican City State provides the sovereign territorial base. It is tiny in size, but powerful in symbolic, cultural, and political influence. It's a unique, elective, absolute monarchy, with its own flag, anthem, and Latin as its official language. It's governed by the Pope, who holds total legislative, executive, and judicial power. One of its most distinctive features is Vatican citizenship, which is not acquired by birth. It is granted exclusively to those who serve the Holy See, such as cardinals, diplomats, and members of the Vatican security services. Fewer than 400 people live within the Vatican walls, and only a handful of them hold a Vatican passport.
People who hold that passport have it only because of the role they perform, so their citizenship is temporary. There are no lifelong citizens. It is functional. Both the territory and the citizenship exist to serve the objectives of the papacy.
Despite its microscopic territory, Vatican City possesses all the essential elements of a state, including its own legal system and courts of law.
Ha habido gente que lo han juzgado, esos tribunales funcionan.
There have been people who have been tried, those courts do function, and there have been people judged, for example, for traffic-related offences or for leaking information, that is, for violating secrecy, breaching confidentiality of reserved information. In those cases, the court might say, you get 5 years or 2 years in prison. In the Vatican, there is a prison. There's one nearby, in a building where the Gendarmeria is located.
En el Vaticano hay una cárcel.
Within its borders, Vatican City has a post office, a railway station, a radio, a printing press, and a pharmacy. It issues its own stamps and has its own currency, tied to the euro, which requires compliance not only with Italy, but also with European Union regulations. Rome has been the capital of the Papal States for centuries, and there are still plenty of churches, basilicas, universities, and diplomatic representations, so-called extraterritorial entities, that belong to the Vatican, even though they're on Italian soil.
Italia accedió muy generosamente, porque Italia es muy generosa.
So Italy very generously allowed some places and buildings in Rome to remain the property of the Holy See and extraterritorial. They're like embassies. For example, the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, the Lateran, the Chancery, the San Callisto area a building next to Santa Maria in Trastevere, in the Trastevere neighborhood.
Al lado de Santa María en Trastevere, en la zona del Trastevere.
A significant sign of the Holy See's presence in the world are the 184 apostolic nunciatures, which function like embassies in the secular sense. Each is headed by a nuncio, the Pope's highest permanent representative abroad.
Auf der einen Seite ist wie alle Botschafter jemand.
On the one hand, like all ambassadors, he is someone who seeks to help shape and maintain contact with the government members, institutions, politics, and culture. On the other hand, which is just as important, he is also the counterpart, the point of contact, for the bishops in the country.
The Lateran Pacts, signed on February the 11th, 97 years ago, secured the Pope's and the Church's autonomy and its role in the world, providing a foundation for the Vatican's cultural, diplomatic, and religious influence today and in the future.
Grazie a tutti voi.